Hi, Pops.
Hey, Darren.
We are back. We are
Oh,
back
yeah?
for another episode.
We are? Is that what we're doing?
Absolutely. We are on episode 6, if you can believe it.
Episode 6. And it happens to be the second part of a 4-part series with the Misfits.
Absolutely. We last episode we introduced the whole world to the Misfits.
That's right. Everyone's knocking on their doors now. Well, probably not.
And we had such a great and lengthy conversation that we really had to kind of just, carve this up into a few different parts. All great stuff, but just too long for one episode, right?
Yeah, nobody wanted a 2-hour episode. So, we'll just split it up and more into more digestible episodes. But they're all great.
And as a reminder for folks, the Misfits are a gang, an actual gang. Sometimes a biker gang, sometimes a climbing gang. Just depends. No,
right.
They have been friends. How long have they been friends, Dad?
Well, trying to get me to do some math. It was early high school years, I think.
I think
junior high school latest. So, that would have been, Kyle was born, that would be in, I don't know, mid-90s.
He graduated
early 90s.
In 90, early 90s. So it's been over 20 years. We won't do the math. That's too hard to carry the one at this point.
Right.
But the amazing part is that not only have they been friends for a long time, but they've remained friends ever since, really, like well into adulthood, families, and all of that stuff, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. It is incredible, and they're really good kids. Fun.
Yep, and they've continued. They started and continued to do lots of things together, including climbing and mountain biking. The last episode, we got to watch a video that they put together that they titled Moab Normal, right?
Yeah.
Which was preceding GoPros, right? Like
for sure,
like a mock-up of a video camera on the bike, which was impressive for the time.
It was a real hack to get anything filmed, but we did it.
But that was just one of several trips to Moabs that you and the gang all made together. We got to hear about how they all came together as friends in the last episode, and we got to see some of the photos and videos of the many adventures they shared together, right?
That's true.
And we got to hear about Dad and Kyle. You guys were the first to embark on this Moab kind of series.
I like to think we started it.
You guys are trendsetters.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. Had lots of adventures. Even getting pulled over by the police at one point.
That was on our second trip to Moab with the Earl boys, twins. And yeah. And what you want to elaborate a little? Or?
Yeah, you guys were pulled over on suspicion of partaking in the wacky tobacco.
Well, the police officer swore he could smell the stuff,
which is
I don't know what he was smelling.
Which is so funny to those of us that know the Misfit boys and you, that there would even be a suspicion at all. And we also got to hear you went on lots of those trips with the boys, right?
Yeah, they let me come, and I enjoyed it. I liked the challenge, and it was definitely a challenge for me. And one of those first trips. It wasn't the second, I don't believe, but no, it was the second. I got some scars and scrapes to show for my adventure. But for the most part, it was
a little bit.
Yeah, for the most part, it was pretty safe. They were pretty safe adventures. So.
Yeah, that's good. And we also got to hear a number of great stories about Kevin.
Yes.
You want to talk about Kevin briefly?
the Misfits, really, really enjoy talking about Kevin and stories about him, because he was a character. And I don't recall, it hasn't been too many years ago that he passed away in an accident on a mountain, and he's sorely missed. And as you might hear in this episode, it kind of quelled their adventureness a little.
Yeah.
In addition to just getting older, but
Yeah.
But it did, but they have very fond memories of Kevin, and we'll hear some more stories just like we heard in the first episode, which are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, the journey continues this month. We're going to share with you part 2 of the series, and we got a few great stories to share. You want to talk a little bit about what's to come in part 2?
Well, just in general, there are stories and more stories and more stories, and photos of climbing adventures and biking and camping. I particularly like the story of the climbing wall parade float. I think that may have been mentioned in the last episode, but a little more detail this time. And I was the one that got to drive the vehicle in the parade. I really like that.
With Sadie.
Yeah, with my wolf dog Sadie. Yep. And there's lots of pictures and stories involving the City of Rocks, which, in case people don't remember or don't know, it's a place down by the Idaho border with Utah, roughly near Twin Falls, and it has lots of really great climbing routes. I'm not a climber, but I did go with the boys and watch them a few times. Yeah. And there's more biking and camping photos. And I have to mention a couple of photos of Kyle's haircut. You'll love that one. He got a haircut for Scout Camp, and there's a couple of stories involving that. Don't miss that one.
Don't miss that one. Well, we don't want to give the whole thing away, but certainly a great episode coming up. And with that, I suppose we should get to it, huh?
Enjoy.
All right. Darren. Enjoy.
These are completely random pictures that, Kyle gave me, and I don't have any idea what order they're in. So,
well, that's graduation night.
That's graduation.
And that's Logan.
Yeah.
And that's graduation
night.
Where were you guys for graduation night?
Icy Rock.
Icy Rock.
Okay.
You were flying a kite on top of the rock there.
Oh, okay.
Was it the night you cut your hair?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That was the night Milton cut his hair off.
Yeah, I think there's a picture of that.
Nice, Kevin. So whatever happened to Babe, Kyle?
I sold
The
it.
ocean.
Oh man, sold it when we were living in Tyler's apartments.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Kevin's ankle.
Oh, what happened there?
We need to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, that's a story.
That one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can recall some things. Is that cool? I'll jump in first.
Yeah.
So I was belaying Tyler on this route. I don't know what it's called. We were back in
Bumbly Takes a Tumbly.
Bumbly Takes a Tumbly.
It's called Bumbly Takes a Tumbly.
Okay, that one. So I'm belaying Tyler, and we're talking, and let's see, Kevin's over here. There's a crash mat down on top of a rock. It's in the way of the first bolt, and essentially it's directly in line with the first bolt, if I remember right. And I think the first clip is like 18 or 20 feet off the deck. It's really high up. And so either Rusty or Milton or Kyle's, I think, spotting Kevin, or, and I'm here and we're watching Kevin a little bit. I'm watching Tyler, and all of a sudden hear this, oh, catch me, blah, blah, and just like screaming. I look over here and I just hear this whack, bam, and Kevin hits the deck on the crash pad, which is on top of a fairly big rock, I think.
And it was turned like this.
Like a stair step, an erosion stair step thing.
Yeah. So his ankle went snap this way.
Yeah, this horrible, unearthly sound comes out of Kevin, and then it's like and screaming, and Tyler's like, "Give me down, give me down, give me down." And
I was like I was strung way out. I was almost to the next bolt. I was freaking out, and then I hear him scream. I'm like, oh! And so I'm like, let me down, man. We got to bail.
Yeah, we got Tyler down, and then Kevin was on the ground writhing in pain, and then I think we gave him a quick blessing, and then had to haul him out over a mile, right, back to the car.
It was a couple miles.
Yeah, I think
So we put him on the crash mat. But before we did, we ran into some EMT guys.
Oh, at the parking lot as we got out.
Yeah.
We put all of our gear into 2 bags, so 2 guys would
Mhm.
carry gear and 3 guys would carry Kevin. We were like shoulder to
remember.
shoulder,
Yeah.
and put Kevin on top of 2 guys, and then 1 guy in front
Carrying
holding
his legs.
Yeah.
and then we'd swap around and rotate out, and yeah, it was a couple miles.
So you know the medicine story, right?
No.
The EMT guys gave him like some hardcore stuff. But like, well, it wasn't like
There's like
Percocet or
Tylenol.
anything.
It had some codeine in it.
Okay.
Extra strength Tylenol with a little bit extra kick.
They gave him some stuff. They're like, we didn't give you anything, or don't tell anybody anything.
Oh.
So it was probably like heavy duty Advil or Tylenol or something. But anyway, they got him in the car. He starts calming down. He gets delirious because of the drugs he's on.
We've got good interview. We've got good talk. Good.
We do.
We've got good video of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the van.
Yeah.
So we
There's a
started
lot-
carrying.
There's a lot of like, oh, I love you guys. You guys are the best. And then we were driving to a hospital, and his mom called his mom. Did we have a cell phone at that point, or how did we get a hold of his mom?
Yeah.
Kyle had a cell phone.
Had a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
That's
Forgot how-
2000.
And then we got yelled at by Kyle's mom, or not Kyle's mom, by Kevin's mom,
Kevin's mom.
because we didn't know the proper procedure on how to use a cell phone. It's like, pull over.
Yeah.
Pull over now.
Oh,
She was
I
really
remember
upset that we were not stopped while we were on the cell phone.
And it's like,
The driver wasn't on the phone.
yeah.
I think it was a reception issue that she was like, because it was cutting a little bit.
Anyway, so his ankle swelled to the size of a grapefruit. He's getting calmer or loopier because he's on drugs, and he starts karaokeing with the salsa container.
And then making out with the salsa container.
Those
Kids
are
from
good
around
drugs.
the radio. That's all I can think about is Kevin making out with the salsa bomb.
And it was it was during a romantic song and all,
It was Seal.
Yeah, Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah. Kissed by a rose on the grave or something.
Oh my gosh.
So did you? It looks like you're kissing his foot. Did you follow?
No, I was just going.
That's a Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah,
All right. Good. I'm glad you explained that.
So that's my climbing shoe, by the way, and it looks like my backpack that Rusty has on.
Yeah. And I think they had to cut that shoe off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't going to let us do it. He's like, no, we don't have to shoot.
All right. Next.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
That was a lot of fun, actually.
I wish I would have been there.
Me too. Where were you at? I was in scout camp.
I was in the army.
You in the army?
So-
man?
Who was there?
So
then?
how did it?
Yeah. How'd we get in that?
So one or two of us were working at the gym at the time, where we were all basically gym rats at that point. And I
Yeah.
talked Eric and Greg. Is it Greg?
Yeah.
I talked them into saying, could we spend a couple
Greg.
$100 to build the wall? And I think we may have actually funded that ourselves.
Yeah,
Remember
I
right?
think I think we just used parts left over from building
Mhm.
the gym.
Yeah, because we bought the 2x6s or 2x8s.
Yeah.
Anyway, we built this kind of in the back of the gym, and I remember running this gigantic long piece of all thread was the main bolt, which was like not strong enough for how heavy this thing was. But we basically made this little wall that kind of could pivot. And then whose trailer was this? Was this your trailer, Dave?
Oh, what am I?
I don't know where we got the trailer.
Would you have got it from one of your relatives or your dad?
I have no
I
idea.
The resource. So I don't know because it's Kevin's car, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know where the car came from.
Oh,
Yeah.
that Buick was awesome.
but I remember I think I called the city to say, hey, we want to enter this float. They're like, oh, what's it going to be? And we're like, oh, it's going to be this climbing wall. They're like, what? And I was like, it's a bouldering wall. They had no idea what I was talking about. I'm like, it'll be good. But I remember us pulling up and the person coming along to check who's in the float. And they're like, what the? I'm like, it's awesome. They're like, all right, just that they were not pleased at all to see this monstrosity pull up.
At some point, we learned about the height requirement,
That's right.
or the height limitation, I should say.
Well,
'Cause over
and,
off the-
and the guy that was checking us in commented on Kevin's Buick as being a real ugly piece of
Fecal matter.
Wasn't like emissions. He was worried about the smoke coming out of it or something.
Oh, I just thought it was a cosmetic concern.
Oh. Anyway, so we had your sister, like Carrie, and her friend. They stood near the back or on the trailer or something, just kind of doing the wave because they were
Yeah.
anchored into the back of the bumper or something.
Yeah.
And then we took turns like campusing, going up the boulder thing and slapping the top or whatever.
Yeah.
But
And the height limitation was a factor because you could like touch traffic lights.
mhm.
As
In
you're
fact, we
rusty.
did.
In fact,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, we chalked up for that, didn't we? So,
As you can see, I guess this is myself and
Sadie?
Sadie.
80.
Sadie.
best.
And I drove and Sadie was next to me and Kevin didn't appreciate all the dog hair. It was there afterwards.
Oh man, that Buick was fantastic.
Yeah,
He could lay
Oh.
down flat in the back seat.
Yeah.
he delivered.
It
He delivered
had air
pizzas, not
suspension too, so it would just like float.
Yeah. He called it a
Would-
boat.
He did call us both. I remember that stretch to Blackfoot Canyon when we'd go climbing. That's just
Oh,
wide
yeah.
open. He'd get that thing up to like 100 miles an hour, and it was just like
There was, he was doing pizza delivery. He dropped off some pizza. He's like, oh, they didn't pay or whatever. He said, someone want to go with me? I'm like, I'll go with you. And I think he let me drive it. And so he was delivering pizza and he's like, go over here, park the car. Just don't go anywhere. I'm like, okay. And I'd be blocking the whole road in these small little numbered streets. And then he'd go in and deliver the pizza faster that way. But that was just fun driving that giant car around with it.
He was making about $5 an hour and burning about $4 an hour of gas.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember the story about the day he delivered when he was working for one of the monument companies, putting the vaults in for funerals.
Yeah.
And so he would go and he would set up the funeral, set up the chairs and set up the canopy and put the bottom half of the vault in. And then he'd just have to sit there and wait till the graveside was done. And then he'd lower the vault back on top and pack everything up. One day he would do that during the day and then he'd deliver pizza at night. And so he stopped to gas up that company truck and he had 2 tanks, filled one side up, went inside, bought a soda and chips, came back out, flipped the tank, went in and paid for it. And then back when you could fill up and then pay. And then he forgot to pull the thing out. He forgot to pull the gas nozzle out, and he just starts driving away. It, makes a mess, and he hurries, gets out, turns off the pump, calls the guy was flipping out. The guy in the store was flipping out, and they call the fire department. They come to like, well, this isn't much of a spill, and they put kitty litter on it, and he's looking at his watch. Oh crap, I got to get to my other job. And so he hurries and he gets there. No police issues with the pump, I guess. It just kind of shuffled things. Everything was fine. Gets there, gets changed for Domino's. He's like, okay, all stressed. He's like, I just want to get in my car and make deliveries. I'll relax, And he gets pulled over while he's delivering pizzas because he took a turn really wide because he's driving a land yacht, and his jockey box wouldn't open. It needed a pocket knife or something to jimmy it open. So he asks the officer, do you have a Leatherman or something? And oh, here you go. He hands it to him. He opens it up. It sets the Leatherman on the passenger seat, gives his stuff to him, goes off and does his deliveries, forgets to give the guy his knife back. And he gets back to Domino's and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy, the cop was here. He's looking for you. You have to stay here until he gets back. And so he's not making any deliveries, folding boxes. He's like, fine, like an hour and a half later, he's like, look, everybody, his pocket knife is right here when he comes. I'm going to go make a delivery. I remember him telling that. That was a great story.
Were you guys?
I think we're missing on a really good story too. After Kevin hurt his ankle, right, and Kyle. So there's a bunch of them, but I'll keep it short. So he's like, I'm gonna make it up to you guys tonight, and I'll get you guys pizza. And we hop in. Was it a rabbit he had, Milton?
The Volkswagen Rabbit?
The Quantum.
Red.
The Quantum.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get this wrong probably, but like he's in the back. He's got his crutches there, and his foot's all like bound up in the temporary cast or whatever it was, and like we're driving to go get pizza. I think we hadn't got it yet or something, and like nothing's working on the car. And Kyle was driving at the time, and I was in the back seat. We get pulled over because like either out or something, and so the officers changed with us. What are you doing? How you doing back there, buddy? Oh, doing great. We're getting some pizza, and Kevin's just cracking jokes, and the guy's like, "Well, need your license." And Kyle didn't have his license with him. And so he's like, all right, can you open the door for me here? And someone was like, sorry, the handle doesn't work there either. And Kevin's listening to the car. He's like, does anything on the car work?
I remember that.
And so I had to hop up front because I had a license and I was driving this.
No, the best part was when the cop says, does anybody in this car have a license? And everybody except for Kyle raises their hand. It's like, great. So the only person that doesn't have a license is the one driving.
I think he was having a great time. I think he loved it.
It's a good thing none of us drunk.
Yeah.
Where's this picture from?
That's in Maine.
That's in Maine.
Islesboro, Maine.
Yeah. You guys went to Maine for some reason.
To
Some of you.
Miss Kim from the climbing gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kim Strong.
And who is Miss Kim one of the owners or?
She was just somebody that worked there that we all befriended. She was like
Gotcha.
an instructor of some kind or a teacher
Well,
or something like that.
I think Rusty actually was the one that because Rusty was kind of the main guy in charge of the climbing gym. And they were bringing in groups during the daytime to try to get money in the day and in the evenings. And so she was like part of the YMCA or some other kids group or
He
something.
worked at a troubled youth house.
You guys, I barely knew her. You guys knew her the most.
Yeah. But Rusty got one of those groups started, and then she came and within all the little kids and stuff like that. I think they charged them like $1 or $2 per kid to give them private climbing lessons or something like that. It was, I mean, it was an experience, but it definitely wasn't a money maker by any means, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so in 2000, right after I got home from Seattle, Milton says, "Hey, we're going to Maine to see Kim." I'm like, I don't know, man. I need to save some money. Then I don't know if I can get the work off. And he says, "Well, I already bought your plane ticket, so you're going." Oh, okay. So the three of us went out.
That's a cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
Paris.
Okay, where's that one?
That's Ross Park.
Okay.
This was on the same trip, wasn't it? After Kevin got hurt.
I think
Probably,
so.
yeah.
Stuff,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Building a little campfire.
That's at Scout Camp.
That's,
Kyle and I were the Cope and climbing directors.
Yeah.
In 2000 at Scout Camp.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that Buick. And that's Danny Campbell with us.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tyson's bachelor party. You need to pause there.
Go back.
Kyle, you need to share tell us about that night. That was July 3rd.
yeah.
Of the
So we were heading up to camp and I can't remember what started the idea, but I was just like, maybe it was didn't want to deal with hair during camp, and so I was like, maybe I should just shave my head. And Kevin was like, all in. He's like, I want to do it. Can I do it?
And you just started dating Brandy, and
I
she
had
was
just
like,
started
no,
dating
don't shave
Brandy.
your head. Don't shave your head.
Well, she didn't know at all. She had no clue that it was even happening or even an idea.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember exactly. Oh, the van broke down on our
And
way.
we pushed
to
it 2
camp, and
miles.
We had to push it 2 miles the rest of the way to camp. then we called Brandy to kind of come and rescue us so that we could have a ride home. And she gets lost in the dark on those roads. And so after we're all done and my head's being shaved, and I was like, hey, Kevin, can you like go look for Brandy maybe? And he finds her, and it was kind of a funny story. As she would tell it, she's like just driving down this road, and she sees this light off in the distance, and it's the headlamp while he's biking, and she's just sees the light, and then it's just suddenly it's gone. And it's because he crashed. The light went down, but she finally got up to him, and
She's like, it's the ghost
and
light.
so he was able to direct her the rest of the camp. And so she's like scared, terrified, thought she was lost out in the wilderness somewhere, and the first thing she sees is bald me, and she was not thrilled.
And we didn't have anything to cut it with except for like the little emergency sewing scissors.
Yeah,
Oh,
Took forever.
that took a while.
And there you go.
And then yeah, we had to do the grandpa stage first.
it always reminded me of the guy off of Whose Line Is It Anyway? That guy.
Colin
That's
Mockery.
funny.
Yeah, especially with the shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
Twins and twins.
yeah. Twin sister.
Twin brothers.
I never
twin
made that
sisters.
connection. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
That is whose bachelor party was that?
Kevin's, I think.
We were just having-
I don't think that was a bachelor party. I think
No,
that
but
was
that's
just,
it.
That's at Rusty's place.
Well, no, look at the
no,
table.
that's
Look
at
at
my
the table.
Tyson's.
That's it. That's it. Kyle's.
That was
Look
it.
at
my house.
Look at the
That's
table.
Chandler in the seat.
Oh yeah.
That was at Shadow Canyon.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at the table because you gave that to Kevin when you moved,
Yeah,
and they still have that table.
they still have it when we were painting the shed for him, and
Oh.
she pointed that out. She's like, "Do you recognize that?" I'm like, "No, why should I?" Like, you gave that to us. Oh,
That's awesome.
well, I built
That's
a really
awesome.
good table, I guess.
Yeah.
Where is this?
On the way to Delicate Arch.
Yeah. Arches National Park.
Okay, I was wondering if it was.
It's
but I
right before you get to
Don't-
the arch.
Oh yeah, it's just that pathway that's on the edge of the cliff thing.
Yeah.
It's like it was just cut for a pathway.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
was, it's like we talk about Moab being a biking trip. That was a highlight of the trip, was the touring through arches, and Milton as like the narrator for our tour of the arches. Oh my gosh, that was just priceless. So funny.
So you got to
How-
expand on that. Like what?
How did
Well,
how did
I mean,
the arches
there's a
get
whole-
there?
There's a video. I mean, we of it. And so, but yeah, it's like so.
Coming back.
He
now.
would just be like, and we had this crazy idea that like the arches were actually placed there by aliens, and that's why they all form the letter A.
Aliens.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that shirt that I'm wearing is the one you guys got from me the first time we went to Moab, called the Dirt Shirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it a dirt shirt?
Because
I
it was
think so.
there was a climbing place, there wasn't there? Like an outdoor.
I don't know. It was just, this shirt is officially made and dyed by Official Red Rock Dirt. or
Yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's Kim.
That was Kim's Volkswagen.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
got another one now. I think
Yeah.
she's done a Subaru swap on it.
No comments.
Just
huh?
chilling.
Look at that hair. Look at that hair.
Look at
Rock
that hair.
Creation.
That's
That's
it.
right by Fly By Night that
It is.
Rusty and Tyson climbing.
Elephant Rock? No, Bath Rock.
Bath Rock.
I think that's Bath Rock. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Chili City.
Oh, that was my first trip to the city.
the spring
That was
break
cool.
trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a random memory, and maybe you guys can help. with it all.
Okay.
What does he want?
Go ahead, Zach.
Something about either a car or that was the bus, and we were at the city together, and it kept like the muffler kept like running into the banks. It would like cause the engine to like stop working, and so someone's car was like being turned around for some reason, and we're like trying to push the car forward, but it's too heavy to push up the hill. So we get it started just enough because the muffler wasn't backed up with dirt. And we go like this up the hill, and all of a sudden hold on, I lost it. We got out of the way, and the car would slam back in the dirt and block off the exhaust, and it would turn the car off. And it was either we were pushing somebody out or it was somebody's car.
It probably was that first spring break winter. This winter right here, I bet.
Yeah,
I don't remember
Was it
that
with
at all.
one of the Volkswagens or was it with the Quantum?
I remember getting the Quantum stuck.
I think it was a Quantum because it wasn't the bus. Maybe Kevin met us up there after work or something, but like either way, this stuck in that car for like 5 days or 4 days.
Yeah. Okay, so let me start the story of all pitching here real quick. So by far, like when we think like when were we like solid friends, for me it was this trip right here. Because we went on spring break in 94, 95, whatever that was. And we thought
it was your senior year. It was Hellbot. It was the year that Hellbot Comet was flying over, and because we saw it.
Okay. So
I think it was 96.
we went to City of Rocks thinking we'd get away from the winter weather in Idaho somehow by going further north. And we were basically trapped there for days, 2-3 days, where our little white car we had, the radiator hose had burst. And we thought, well, we'll just wait for things to warm up. And so it was too cold to climb. And so we all had these janky clothes, like whatever we had for winter clothes. And Tyson or somebody had the little heater stove
Tyson
thing.
had the little heater, a little propane heater.
So we basically get in the car, crank up the heater. We'd all get gas poisoning from like it burned up all the oxygen in the car.
Yeah.
And then we get out because we have headaches. We're like, I don't feel so good, man. So we go out there, stand next to this fire, which the wind is blowing about 40 miles an hour, just like to the sideways right here.
Oh.
We'd warm up, laugh, get back in the car, and then what?
My parents came. They were going to come cook a Dutch oven dinner for us, and they got lost several times finding us because they had never been there. But they came and cooked. I don't know, something.
Was it that trip though?
It was that
Was
trip.
that the same trip?
That when Kevin and I were sleeping in the van, in the top of his van,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you were in the little tiny spot below,
Probably.
and then the other three, you guys were out in a tent.
Mm-hmm.
But that van was rocking. Kevin got up multiple times in the night and put like logs under the tires to keep it from rolling down
the hill.
Yeah, rolling down a hill. But yeah, Mom and Dad came and cooked us a nice Dutch oven meal. That was the only good meal we had on that trip. That was when we created City Ramen, when you just ate ramen right out of the package.
I wasn't gonna do it. I remember like, oh, I got this, and like just pouring the packet and just eating it. I'm like, oh, that's gross. And then,
Yeah. But we hiked up to the upper bread loaves.
Yeah.
Got some water out of the well. You could actually hand pump a well back then. And so that's how we filled up our radiator because it lost a bunch of fluid. And then we took plastic and climber's tape and we wrapped the radiator hose and tied it. That was like our miracle. We drove home and we actually got lost. We went down to Utah without knowing it. And
we went to Snowville because we took the wrong exit, or we took the exit.
Oh.
yeah. And we had like a quarter tank of gas in that little car. And we'd try stopping off every other place getting back home. And it was so late there was no gas station open. So we were like praying our guts out. We finally made it to Pocatello on a quarter tank of gas from the city all the way to Pocatello and made it home somehow.
Wow. That was the first trip. You guys did that again?
I think you guys had been there before. That was the first time all of us were there
Together.
Oh, okay.
together. This one was, but well, and we did do a little bit of climbing. I remember doing a little bit on Practice Rock, and I remember you doing Wheat Thin or Rye Crisp.
Oh,
on
and it was
Elephant
so
Rock.
cold, my
Yeah.
fingers wouldn't move.
I think you and
We
and
both
Rusty,
did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and Rusty
We
both
didn't
did
place
it.
anything for the last 40 feet. We're just like,
Just like I'm too cold to place any gear. Just go. Just get to the top.
But we did do that 3-pitch round on there. So when the sun finally came up on the fourth day, we got up there on Todd's not Todd's. It was called
Stripe Rock.
Stripe Rock.
Stripe
Cool
Rock.
shoes.
Was it that trip?
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's since the sun finally came out the third day.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Your first time hanging on bolts with 2 other guys, you realize you're like, are these bolts 1/4 inch, or how long have these been around this rock with weathering? Realizing,
Yeah.
yeah, if I die today, I'm gonna die with 2 other friends. It's fine. And we're like second pitch, third pitch, and I remember like leapfrogging. I'm like, this is so. Why are we doing this? This is so stupid. I hate everything about climbing. And then we get top. We're like, yeah.
Well, that last pitch is so sloped. I mean, you're running past bolts. Like, oh yeah, maybe I ought to hook in.
Yeah, that was legendary. Legendary.
That was a good trip.
Dave, did we ever take you up on Stripe Rock, or did you just wait at the bottom with us?
I don't know. I don't remember the names of rocks or anything.
Oh, I just remember you, me, and Kyle, and we took some girl, and
Yeah.
I think you and her mom were sitting at the bottom talking while the rest of us went up or something like that.
I don't remember.
That was a 2-pitch route on the other side of Flaming Rock, the other side of.
Oh, okay.
If it was technical, I didn't go.
Oh, I just want to see pictures of Kyle as a ninja.
Yeah.
There you go.
My ninja
We're
garb.
getting closer.
Getting
So is
closer.
There's the heater.
Yeah.
Tyson
Oh.
asphyxiated all of us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This was my first time going to Moab.
Oh, there we go. Getting closer.
That's closer. I don't think that's the one you're thinking of.
Oh, because you had the headband on. Yeah, that's right.
This I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
on
like
specialized.
Kelly's Canyon-ish or
It's
something.
like
Yeah.
Oh,
We got Chandler.
with the tag along.
That awesome.
That is a sick bike, Kyle.
That was a 4th of July bike ride up to Kelly's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wasn't it Tyson's brother-in-law that was the first person to do the tag along with the kid on the back?
Yeah, Ammon Gunderson was the tag along, and this Eric Gunderson. Yeah. Sure.
Where is this?
So this is City. We met up around 10 years ago. No,
Oh yeah,
8 years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
We kind of a
This is
Misfits reunion.
where you and Mom actually came.
Yeah, you're
We
gonna
stayed at that little cabin.
see some pictures of Mom here pretty soon.
Yeah. Geo.
There you go.
Awesome.
So lunch break or something.
Oh, that Kevin telling a story. Yeah. Oh, I love
It
that
It
picture
was
right there.
this big. That's right.
He was so
Wow.
cool. I remember at this trip, he just randomly met people in the parking lot, and he was just telling stories. Like,
Mhm.
how do you do that?
That's right, Chris.
Mhm.
That's the one you guys did spring break.
Yeah.
It's much
there's,
nicer to do then, I guess.
There's Mom.
So I got a kind of a crazy question, and maybe you guys know the answer, maybe you don't. But and maybe it's appropriate for a different time. But
There's Mom.
was it like through that trip and Kevin and your mom talking and stuff like that part of the reason where how he ended up speaking at her funeral, or was it just luck of the draw?
I don't know if it's this particular time, but they
Remember if there was a specific reason, but I think
I think a
my
lot of things.
initial
we-
reaction to it was just because he's such a good storyteller.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
definitely one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, especially when you saw the first picture that showed your mom in it at the city, it's like your mom and him are having a really in-depth conversation. And I was just like, well, maybe it's one of those times. Because he talked about, to me, that how, there's only a few times that, he sat down and had really in-depth conversations with your mom.
Yeah.
But it's like, whoa, that was one of those times.
I think they connected a lot when he started teaching seminary because they had that mutual
Oh,
experience.
both teaching backgrounds. Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, the camera technology got better.
Yeah.
Did it. Wow.
It's like a GoPro 1 or 2 right there.
And I love the Chacos there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was such a fun route. Oh my gosh.
Where is that?
Remember
That's-
you remember that one? That one's Columbia Crack on Bath Rock. And
Whoa.
Kevin climbed it, and then once he set up, I tied on, and then we tied on Milton just like 20 feet lower, and him and I both simul climbed up to Kevin.
We are done with the slideshow, guys.
Awesome.